of government neglect have been lifted. While we have more work to do, we will not stop until every community on reserve has access to safe and clean drinking water.
Honourable Member for Timmins, James Bay.
Mr. Speaker, COVID is having a devastating impact on the financial viability of airports across northern Canada. This summer, for example, Timmins Airport suffered an 89% drop in passengers, while Sault Ste. Marie suffered a 99% drop. This is unprecedented. And yet northern airports remain on the front lines for medical services, food transportation, and dealing with forest fire refugees. So my question is to the Minister of Transportation. When is he going to step up and answer the call of the northern mayors to address the financial crisis that we're facing with airports in the time of COVID?
The Honourable Minister of Transport.
Mr. Speaker, I thank my honourable colleague for the question, and it is indeed very important that we ensure that northern parts of our country are provided with essential travel for medevacs and for provision of essential foods and supplies, and that is why we put in place a program earlier this summer which will provide up to $174 million to specifically take care of 140 northern communities. That is our recognition that we must provide those services to the north.
The Honourable Member for Fredericton.
Mr. Speaker, when most people think about the future of energy, they will refer to wind farms, geothermal, solar, but far too often we forget about the power reclaimed through energy efficiency. Let us also not ignore the fact that some will try to make us believe that nuclear energy can still be considered clean, safe, and reliable. The reality is that it's pointless of dreaming of a greener future if we're not investing massively today on how to preserve our energy, reducing demand. My question is to the Minister of Energy Resources. How much precisely is the government projected to invest to intensify energy efficiency in comparison to the upcoming investment to increase Canada's reliance on nuclear power?
Honourable Minister of the Environment.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Certainly, energy efficiency is a critical piece of moving forward with an effective climate plan. It's also an opportunity for us to think about how we create jobs and economic opportunity for Canadians from coast to coast to coast. It is part of a plan that will obviously need to include a focus on renewable energy, how we actually reduce emissions in all sectors across the country. Certainly, the announcement today by the Prime Minister and Premier Ford with respect to zero-emission vehicle manufacturing is a critical piece of that plan as well. We will be moving forward to address all of those issues.
And that's all the time we have today for questions. C'est tout le temps qu'on a. Nous avons un...
That's all the time we have. We have a point of order.
Paul Rivers, rising on a point of order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. There have been consultations with the other parties, and if you seek it, I hope there is unanimous consent for the following. That the House, A, recognize that the wait times at Veterans Affairs Canada are exceedingly long, leaving some veterans without an income with which to support themselves and their loved ones while receiving the care they need. B, recognize that government ministers and members encouraged Canadians to apply for the Canada Emergency Response Benefit CERB, that these members said the government would address issues with eligibility in the future, and that a small number of veterans applied for and received the CERB as a means of bridging their personal finances until such a time that their Veterans Affairs Canada applications are processed and they receive the payments they are owed with which they intend to repay the CERB. And C, call on the government to ensure that no veteran is fined or otherwise punished for having received the CERB when they did not meet the eligibility criteria, and that those veterans not be required to repay the CERB they received until their applications at Veterans Affairs Canada are processed and their pensions are paid.